What is up, professional wrestling fans? Whether you're a new fan, a casual fan, or a hardcore, what are we? Sicko. That's what I'm going for. Welcome to Squared Circle Speaking, the pro wrestling YouTube channel that is hosted by two brothers who are lifelong professional wrestling fans. I am Ryan. With me, as always, is my older brother. The reason I got into professional wrestling, it's Mr. I already used that one. Never mind. $1 million man, Nathan.
I wish I was $1 million man. But let me tell you, even if I was $1 million man, I don't know if I'd put any stock into freaking Mordecai here.
Yeah, so welcome to a rebooking where we're going to try to see if we can get Mordecai over. If you have no idea who we're talking about, which I'm sure there's a lot of you, Mordecai was a character played by Kevin Furtig, who went on to become Kevin Thorne in ECW. Mordecai was a religious-esque type of character. He was all white, had white hair, white beard. Promo videos, vignettes were played forever. And then he came and went very, very quickly.
Yeah, so here's the thing. The thing about Mordecai is this character, I don't know if it was because visually of what he looked like, or I don't know. I don't know what it was about him, but he's very fondly remembered for as short of a little as he was around.
I mean,
and
I loved it.
A lot of people do rebookings of this guy. Like they if you get on YouTube, you can find a lot of people that have tried to, like, what if, and I'm like, and I don't know what it is about this guy, Ryan, but people really wanted him to succeed. I don't know. I think it was because 2004, okay, Undertaker had been around since 91.
Yeah.
So we're 13 years deep into the Undertaker. Okay, Kane's already turned into the bald Kane by this point, and we don't have the mystique anymore because Undertaker is more of a grounded guy now. He was the dead man for a little bit, like the biker, and then he came back and he was. I don't even know if he'd come back yet. It was he had maybe just come back and became like the hybrid of old school Undertaker and the biker.
Yeah. Like this was when he was reunited with, I think he was with Paul Bearer again for a little bit here. This was after WrestleMania 20 where he came back, but
yeah,
it was that weird Undertaker that I don't think he really liked doing, and other people, you know what I mean? It didn't.
I think people were looking for the next Undertaker.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they were excited, because we didn't have a whole lot of supernatural. We had like the Boogeyman. We had a couple people come in that were a little more supernatural, but not really.
Yeah.
And so I think people just kind of wanted this. They wanted another supernatural character. This was Mordecai, new supernatural character. Maybe it could be the next Undertaker. So Ryan, how do we get him there?
That's the problem. In reality,
before we see how we need to get him there, what happened to him first?
So in reality, he debuted, his vignette started playing in early 2004. He made his debut at the Judgment Day pay-per-view, pretty fitting, defeating Scotty 2 Hotty. He would then make several appearances on SmackDown, never really wrestled a whole lot. He beat Hardcore Holly at a Great American Bash, and then lost on SmackDown to Rey Mysterio and was never seen again. So he went from May to July was his whole run. And he wrestled like 3 or 4 matches in that span. So in reality, he didn't get a really good chance to do anything.
I'm not sure exactly why.
I don't either, because he had look, and if you're watching this, there's going to be pictures on the screen of Mordecai. Look at him. I mean, he looked great. He's big. He's like 270. Like he's a big guy.
What was his finish for? Razor's Edge?
Yeah, he did like the crucifix, yeah. Like he would come out on his, he had like the giant cross and like fire. Like, I mean, it should have worked. I don't know what happened. Maybe attitude issues or something, but I feel like it should have worked.
All right.
But again, I don't know how we get there to
Well, first off, so they had him squash Scotty 2 Hotty at a pay-per-view. I don't think a squash match is appropriate for a pay-per-view.
yeah, this is when they were doing those one show pay-per-views and they filled it with a bunch of this stuff. But yeah, that's not great, especially against Scotty. Like he did Scotty Too Hottie, and then I think on SmackDowns he would like just interrupt all the cruiserweights, which is not a
Right.
good, like I don't think that's where you want to go with them. So
No, that is not the way you want to go with it. So here's how I think we should do this, Ryan. Starting out, you can piggyback off of me here.
okay,
I say we start off with Mordecai at Judgment Day, interfering. What were the other matches at Judgment Day? Let's go back to that card real quick.
okay. So Judgment Day 2004 had Rey Mysterio and Rob Van Dam versus the Dudley Boys. Charlie Haas and Rico versus Billy Gunn and Hardcore Holly for the tag team championships. Chavo versus Jacqueline for the cruiserweight. God, this show sucks. John Cena versus Rene Dupree, Undertaker versus Booker T, and JBL versus Eddie Guerrero for the championship. So, not a great card for him to make a debut on.
Okay, so how about we do this? How about we have him debut against? So he interferes in the John Cena. What was the other guy?
Rene Dupree.
Oh God, man, this was a shitty show. All right,
This
so
show
let's see. He debuts, and let's say he takes out John Cena. Okay.
So immediately going for the United States Championship. I like it.
Yep. Okay. So he targets John Cena, and let's say that the feud goes on like this. He does not beat John Cena because he gets disqualified for some reason. Okay. And then he ends up not winning the title because they have a match where John Cena doesn't pin him. It's like maybe like a tables match or some shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So John Cena gets his comeuppance and gets his little victory, but Mordecai doesn't really get pinned. Okay. How do you like that so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to start him out because you're having him go after one of the big guys, but he doesn't win the title right away. So you're slowly moving him up. I like it. I mean, I think that's good.
All right. And then let's say after that match, so he doesn't get pinned and he's getting talked trash to by who's a trash talker from the MVP. All right.
Okay.
You still here? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so he takes on MVP. He wins against MVP. Okay. So finally gets his big win. Gets his big win against MVP. Moves on. Who should he face next? I say Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, so here's the thing. His whole thing was ridding the world of sin, right? So
Right.
with Cena, it could be, I don't know, many things about John Cena. The way he talks, his raps, whatever.
Yeah.
MVP would be just, he was in jail. So he's ridding him of that. And
MVP was cocky.
Yeah. And then
he had
an obvious one.
Yeah.
So
he's taking them out. So one at a time, taking them out. He beats RVD at a pay-per-view. Okay. And then let's see if that takes us all the way to the Rumble. Okay. That takes us to the Rumble.
Okay.
Him and Undertaker face off in the Rumble. All right. And they knock each other out of the Rumble, leading to their WrestleMania match, Ryan. Mordecai versus The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Which is what everybody assumed that was going to happen right when he debuted, because he looked like the white Undertaker. Like he looked like even though Undertaker is supposed to be the good guy and he's dressed in black, and this guy is supposed to be the bad guy and he's dressed in white, he looked like the white Undertaker, right? The White Knight.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of people thought this was going. Clean everything. That's why I think we head to this match, Ryan. How do you think this match goes?
Well, obviously, I think it would have been 2005. So you're looking at WrestleMania 21. So Undertaker would have only been like the streak was around, but it wasn't really
Acknowledged.
acknowledged yet, right? Like
He was only at like 10 or 12.
yeah, so
10 or 12 and no, something like that.
I think I mean you almost could have put Mordecai over in it. I don't know if it would have been that big of a deal, especially if you had booked it right and
Mm-hmm.
slowly built him up and slowly had it to where he beat Rey Mysterio, he beat Rob Van Dam, and he may have had other wins over guys like
How
Billy
about this?
or
How
whatever.
about we let the streak live? Because
Yeah,
I
I
still
think
like the idea. I still like the idea of Bray Wyatt ending that streak.
I think
But
Undertaker has to win.
let's say the Undertaker wins this match. But after the match, Mordecai beats him up and kills off Paul Bear.
Okay. Yeah, so you have Paul Bear stick around longer than in real life, but
Yeah. Let's say he kills off Paul Bear.
I mean they killed him off in a fucking concrete crypt. That would have been it probably would have been better than they did in real life anyways.
Yeah. By the Dudley boys of all people.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think it would have been a lot better doing it this way.
Yeah. So he kills off Paul Bear. So we're correcting a lot of wrongs here.
Yeah.
And then
the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, the next one he gets his win over the Undertaker.
Yeah, which would be Judgment Day, which is basically a year after he debuted.
There we go.
We made it a full year in his career. He beats the Undertaker in like a casket match or some sort of gimmick match like that, like a casket match or buried alive or something.
And then the Undertaker goes away for a little while, which he kind of did anyway.
Yeah.
So he goes away for a little while. And so while he's gone, Mordecai is your next Undertaker. He feuds with Kane. He feuds with, I don't know, some other dark figures, the Boogeyman. I don't know. We'll keep him away from the Boogeyman. But he beats Kane and all these other guys. He actually let's say he gets a title run, Ryan, because it's SmackDown. There wasn't a lot of big stars back then. Let's say he gets a one. Let's see he gets a run against in the title picture here, Ryan, fighting people like JBL, Eddie Guerrero, Kane, or Edge,
John Cena,
Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
I say that's how you do it, man. I think that's how you do it. And then eventually the Undertaker comes back, beats Mordecai.
Beats Mordecai for the title.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
Like say
he comes back, he beats Mordecai, and then you can have Mordecai maybe change gimmicks a little bit, maybe switch it up a little.
Yeah. So I'd say after Judgment Day, Mordecai beats John Cena or beats Undertaker and sends him away, right? The next WWE SmackDown pay-per-view would have been Great American Bash. I think at Great American Bash, even though Cena just won the title, but Cena was then moved over to Raw.
Right.
Then you had the World Heavyweight Championship. Batista was champion. I think you could have had Mordecai beat Batista.
Absolutely.
And then he holds it till, even if it's only a month, SummerSlam the next month, even if it's only a month, then the Undertaker comes back. Big SummerSlam match, Mordecai versus Undertaker.
You do it Survivor Series. Let him hold a Survivor Series when Undertaker debuted from way back.
He holds it till Survivor Series, and then at Survivor Series,
it's Undertaker's rebirth at Survivor Series.
Yeah, and then Mordecai can defend it against Batista. He can defend it against guys like who was on
Rey Mysterio,
Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, guys like that, Matt Hardy, just Kurt Angle. Get him some quality wins because he could work. Like Mordecai was pretty good in the ring.
He was big, but he was also fast.
I think he could have held his own in matches with guys like that. And I think the way then Mordecai eventually he'll lose the Undertaker. Undertaker becomes champion again. You get the Undertaker title run again, and then Mordecai can switch a little bit. Maybe change. I don't know how you change the gimmick. It's one of those things that'd be hard to change, but maybe I don't know. I don't know how you make it less religious. Which may be why it didn't work in the first place. Maybe religious people got mad, but maybe you just make it and then he can become a good guy or something.
Yeah.
Make it to
switch it up.
He learned the lesson. Now he's here to help or something. I don't know. It's WWE. They can always come up with, cool stuff.
Or he just, then gets sent over to ECW and becomes Kevin Thorne. I don't know.
Yeah, ECW didn't debut that year, so.
But at least for that year, he got a better run than his 1 month run that he had.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look, Mordecai was never going to be, he was never going to be a star, right? Like he was never going to be a Hall of Famer, but you could have had at least a year and a half run with him as a top guy, as a good name, and then transferred him down, and then he could have came back as Kevin Thorne later, because you could barely tell it was the same guy when he became Kevin.
yeah.
So it could have worked. I mean, you had guys that were, big names for just a year that came in and then left back in the 80s and 90s and stuff. Like it could have been the same. Came in, became the dominant bad guy, lost to Undertaker, and then changed it up.
Yep.
So I think that
All right.
works.
I think it works too. But even if it doesn't work, it's a hell of a lot better than what they did.
I mean, look, yeah.
So if you like this episode of rebooking, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to see more rebookings, and hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever we upload another rebooking. And in the comment section, make sure you comment, tell us what rebooking you want to see next. We'll do anybody. You just got to let us have it.
Yeah,
Give us an idea. We'll run with it.
Any wrestler or any storyline that has been screwed up, or hell, we'll rebook pay-per-views. Like, let us know if you have a pay-per-view or a storyline or a certain wrestler you'd like to see their career go a different way. Let us know and we'll do it. Thank you for watching. Next week, we have another fun-filled week of wrestling content for you. So make sure, like Nathan said, you're subscribed. And we will see you next week on Squared Circle Speak.
Later.